Hmm? 22 have already submitted.
Sir, there might be problem in mine, so I will submit it today.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, okay. You will do that. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see. This one resume. Okay. Types of resume. Up to which we discussed? Up to which? Huh? Up to here, right? Do you hear my voice? Do you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So up to which we discussed? This one? Optional heading. Now, organization strategies. Did you talk about this? Organizational strategies.
I think the slide before it was up to discussed. That,
Two pattern. There are two for strategies. In two ways we can put the things in order in resume. One is reverse chronological order, another is priority order. In two order we can put the things in resume. So the first one here you have reverse chronological order. Some parts of the resume are presented in reverse chronological order. So backward through time. The priority here is time. So in chronological order we focus on time first. So what is most recent is considered to be most important. It means that is here, if we are going to mention the degrees, then what is most recent that we write first in chronological order. What is most recent that we write first. Then before that, which degree you took, that you write. That you can write. Before that, which degree you took, that also you write. So this is the way. So this is reverse chronological order. Reverse. The very name indicates reverse. Isn't it? It means from most recent to previous one, not from the previous one to most recent, from the most recent to the previous one. So what is most recent is considered to be most important. In particular, past jobs and schools attended should be listed in reverse chronological order. So from recent to the previous, not from the past to the recent. Did you understand? Did you understand this? Are you following?
sir.
Okay. So from most recent to whatever degree you have recently taken, you write that first, then the previous one, then previous one. This is reverse chronological order. Okay. So this you have to follow. So for example, when presenting your work experience, list your most recent job first, then your second most recent, okay, previous one, then third most recent. This is the way we do. Then we have priority order. In priority order, what we do, from most important to least important. What is most important information that you want to deliver, that you write first. Then you mention the least important, first from most important to least important. So here you have whatever you present as most important should be the information that is most important to the prospective employer. I mean, what the information the employer needs. So whatever information the employer needs, out of all the information, which one is most important that you write first. Okay. So whatever you present as most important should be the information that is most important to the prospective employer. When you have impressive work experience, that experience may be more important to your employer than education. Okay. So that is if you have, experience, impressive experience. Then you write experience first, and then you mention the education, because experience may be more important to your employer. Okay, because priority will be given to the experienced personnel. So that's why if you have impressive experience, write impressive experience first, and then you mention the that is qualification. Okay, this is the way. So if you are a recent graduate without much work experience, you may want to include education first as the most important qualification. If you use a skills summary, you should place it early in the resume. So that way employers, okay. So here in priority order, what we do, that is we mention the most important information first and then the least important information. So concerning educational qualification and experience, we have discussed. If experience is most important to the prospective employer, write experience first, then job qualification. Did you understand? अब यो हेर, अब यसमा चाहिँ के त डिफरेन्ट टाइप्स अफ रिज्युम छ। ओके, तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ के त सिधै रिज्युम लेख्न आउँछ। ओके, chronological resume, functional resume, electronic resume, सीधे resume लेख्न आउँछ। You want to be asked write chronological or electronic or functional resume, त्यस्तो आउँदैन. So that is only writing resume. So in my opinion, what you do, so here you have to talk, here you have to learn only 4 things. Remember, one is cover letter, then follow up letter, and then you have this one, resignation letter and resume. Okay, this much, these 4 things: cover letter, okay, that is job application; follow up letter, it means follow up letter is written if you are called for interview in order to give thanks to the employer. So you write follow up letter, and then resignation letter. If you are going to resign from the job, then you have to write resignation letter. So cover letter, follow up letter, resignation letter, and finally resume. Okay, so these 4 things you have to learn in this unit, nothing more than this. Okay, so in my opinion, so what you do is, let's talk about cover letter first, and then the resume, that is the first resume that we discussed. So you will follow that resume only, sample resume. Where is it? So this one you will follow. See, sample resume. In exam, you will be asked to write job application plus resume. Okay, so for job application, for resume, you will follow this very sample. For resume, you will follow this sample. Clear? And for job application, that is you will follow the that is given later below the pages. See, in other pages that is given. त्यति मात्र follow गर्ने हो, not more than this. So अब धेरै कुरो त्यसमा नगरौँ, बिना मतलबको छ यो। सिधै स्याम्पलमा हो। ल यो स्याम्पल हेर त। This is, see, cover letter. Cover letter means job application. Come to the sample. Okay, see. So you will make a box first. Okay, you will make a box like this. Okay, then at the top 2-line gap. Here you will leave 2-line gap. Clear? And then you will write your address. This is your address. So 670 67B Whistle Run Apartments. This is your address. And below address here date. See. And below it 1-line gap. Remember line gap. That is top, at the top double space. Then you write your address. Below address 1-line gap. And then you write the name of the person to whom you are writing this job application. Miss Haley Odell. And so name of the company given, address given. Okay, and then here again 1-line gap. Here what you find, that is subject is not given. Subject is not given. You can, in our practice we write subject. हाम्रो practice में तो subject लेखिन्छ नि. So what you can do is after this address you leave 1-line gap, and then you can write subject. Okay, subject, and in subject you mention the post. Okay, and then below it below it one line gap, and then here salutation part, dear Miss Odell. So while writing salutation part, you write dear, and then you write the last name, last name. So here Miss, and then here Odell, and below it again one line gap, and then you can prepare the body part. But here why that is post, why your subject is not given? Because along with the cover letter, resume is attached, resume is attached, and in resume there is already the post, resume mat post huncha. So that's why here post, that is subject is not given. Okay, so but you can write in a subject, in subject you can mention the post, about which post you are applying. You can write here that is an application. In subject what you can write, an application for the post of, that is software technician, like this, an application for the post of software technician. So this is the way you can write. Okay, then here salutation part, and then here body part you can prepare like this. So in the first paragraph, what you do is, in the first paragraph, right, in the first paragraph what you do, that is, how did you come to know about the vacancy? How did you come to know about the vacancy? Okay, so is it from the newspaper, and or is it from certain reliable source that you mention? And you deserve the post, you are fit for the post, that also you mention in the introduction part. And then in other paragraphs, paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, in other paragraphs what you do, that is, you give the relevant details that are required for the post, mention the relevant details. Okay, in other paragraphs mention the relevant details. So here second paragraph, third paragraph, and in the last, see, second last paragraph what is given. So that is see, second, third, and fourth paragraph. In all these paragraphs you can talk about your educational qualification in detail, your experience in detail. If you have other interest, that also you can mention. Okay, in the, in these paragraphs. And in the last paragraph you have to give your assurance. Okay, for example, you can write that is if selected, I shall do my work most honestly, or that is, I assure you that, I assure you that if selected, I shall do my work most honestly. These are the things you can mention in the last paragraph. In the last paragraph you can also include your mobile number, your contact number, because if you are selected for interview, then the person, the employer can easily contact you. So this is what you are going to do. So here, see the last paragraph, my resume is enclosed for your consideration. I would be happy to schedule an interview to discuss my qualifications. You can reach me at, this is the contact number given, after 3 p.m. time also given, or feel free to email me at this email address also given. So this is the way you can end the job application. So remember, in the first paragraph, how did you come to know about the vacancy? So let's see here. Because of my desire to relocate to my home state of Arkansas, I'd like to be considered for the programming position. It means you like to apply for that post, you deserve that post, that is given here. I would like to be considered for the programming position advertised in the Daily Register last week. So how did you come to know about the vacancy? It was advertised in Daily Register last week. With co-op experience at a company similar to Monarchs, I have first-hand knowledge of the challenge of working in an industrial setting and what kind of duty you can do there. That also you can mention. Okay, so main thing is, how did you come to know about the vacancy? You have to mention this point in the first paragraph, and you would like to apply for this post. This also you have to mention in the first paragraph. In other paragraphs you can give the details. For example, see, I earned an AAS degree in computer programming from Maddox Community College. Okay, all these are the details given. So your degrees, that is in resume what we write, we just that is briefly, we just briefly mention the things. But here you can write in sentences, you can give the details of your qualification, you can give the details of your experiences, you can give the details of your that is other skills and abilities. You can do that. So this is given here. Similarly, in addition to my education, I have experience meeting the computing needs of business industry. So here what is given? So here educational qualification and here experience. So this is the way and you can continue. So last year I attended a conference that is additional qualities, additional skills. Additional skills are given in the third paragraph. Sorry, that is fourth paragraph. In the second paragraph, educational qualification. In the third paragraph, your experiences. In the that is in the fourth paragraph, that is your additional skills and abilities. And the last paragraph is the closing paragraph, in which you have to give your assurance to the employer, and you can mention your contact number, your email address. Okay, all these are the things you can do. And here, after each paragraph, one gap. Here also one gap. Here also one gap. Here also one gap. After each paragraph, one gap. Below the last paragraph, you will leave one gap. Then you will write sincerely. Below sincerely, you can leave two gap. Below sincerely, two gap. Okay, and in this two gap, you will do your signature. This two gap for signature, and then below signature, you will write your name, and below name you will leave one line gap, and then you write enclosure. Enclosure means you are going to enclose resume along with this application. So enclosure, below enclosure, you leave two line gap and close the box. Did you understand? Huh? Did you understand? खै त बोलेन त आवाज सुनिरहेछ कि छैन?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay, do you have any confusion?
No, sir.
Can you here two line gap at the top, two line gap, right? When you close the box, two line gap, clear? And below sincerely, two line gap. In the two line gap, you will do the signature, and then for others, one gap. Clear? Gap clear bhayo?
Clear, sir.
So this is cover letter. But now, what you do is, see. So I'll post the question concerning cover letter. What is this follow-up letter? I mean, if you are selected for interview, you will give thanks to the employer. So how to write that follow-up letter? For this also same thing. So here you leave two line gap. Here two line gap. Then you will write your address and date. Your address and date. Clear? Your address and date. And then here you can leave here three line gap. Yeah, तीन line gap. Okay. And then you write the name to whom you are writing, name of the employer. So Miss Hallie Odell, personnel director, and then name of the company, industry, then address. Then again one gap, then salutation part same, and below it again one gap. And then here you have to start with thanks, because you have been called for interview. So you are going to give thanks. Because you have been called for interview. So here, see, so very brief, and follow-up letter is very brief, because you are not going to give your the details of your qualification, experience, other skills. Okay, you have already mentioned in cover letter. So here just giving thanks. Okay, so here how is it written? Just see, thank you for considering me for the position of computer programmer with your company. See, so very beautifully written this. You are giving thanks. You have been that is called for interview. I enjoyed touring your facility and discussing ways to improve the SQL Server database. These are the activities that you are going to do there. As you may remember, I have 2 years experience installing and configuring operating systems, specifically with Windows 2008. I mean, what experience, major experience that you have, you can mention. I would welcome the opportunity to put my knowledge to work for your company. My preference is to return to my home in Arkansas, and I am willing to relocate to any of your subsidiaries in the state. It means that is my home is in Arkansas, so that's why I want to be appointed in any of the branches located there. होइन, त्यहाँको कुनै ब्रान्चमा, that is I want to be appointed. Then yeah, I look forward to hearing from you soon. If you have additional questions about my qualifications, please call me at this or email me at this. Okay, then sincerely, signature, name. Isn't it? Right? So here, what is given? That is, you are very happy that you have been selected for the interview, you have been called for the interview. So you first give the thanks, then you show your happiness, isn't it? And especially what major activities you will perform, major activities you will do there, okay, when you start your job there. And then that is what activities you do, and what is your major experience related to the work, that you are going to do in that company. So what is your major experience that you mention, okay? And if the person has if the employer has some additional questions to ask you, then you can again mention the contact number, email address here, okay? And then here, sincerely, signature, name. So here also what you can do, here at the top, 2-line gap, then address and date, your address and date, then leave 3-line gap here, and then that is recipient name, post, name of the company, address, okay? Then salutation part. So here you will leave 1-line gap, below salutation part 1-line gap, okay? And after each paragraph 1 gap, then below the last paragraph 1 gap. Sincerely, below sincerely, 2-line gap. In the 2-line gap you will do the signature, and then below signature you will write your name, and then you can leave 2-line gap and close the box. So you have more gap given, 2-line gap, and close the box. Okay, did you understand this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
यसमा चाहिँ के त अलि किनकि अब यो when you write a letter, when you write this type of letter, if it is completed in the half, that is within half of the page, then that doesn't look good. So that's why here more space is given, isn't it? You may give that is 4 or 5 space also, no problem. Okay, so this is follow-up letter. So when is a follow-up letter written? कति बेला लेखिन्छ भन त? When you write a follow-up letter?
When we get selected for the employment, sir.
No. If you are called, if you have been selected for interview, तिम्रो selection अहिले भएको छैन नि, बाँकी नै छ नि त. If you are selected for interview,
Okay, sir.
interview को लागि select गरेछ तिमीलाई, then you have to write follow-up letter. Okay, and when to write resignation letter, all of you know, हैन? राजीनामा पत्र कति बेला लेख्नु त? So okay, so for this also what you can do, see, resignation, this is the sample of resignation letter of resignation. So here what you can do, that is at the top 2-line gap, यहाँ 2-line gap गरिदिने, ठीक छ? At the top 2-line gap, ठीक? Then you write your address and date, below it you leave that is 3-line gap, यहाँ 3-line gap गरिदिने. Below it, त्यहाँ कति बनाएको मैले, 2-line हो, यहाँ 2-line हो. So here 2-line, and here you have 3-line. So mention that you have 3-line, and then here also same thing. Here also, here 2-line, and then here you leave 3-line gap, okay, and then 1 gap. So 3-line gap here, then name of the recipient, post, and then name of the company and address, clear? Then 1 gap, and then you write here, dear Donald. Here what is given? The first name is given. Now tell me, so why here first name? Why not the last name? Why here first name given? Dear Donald. Because see, you are a job holder there, right? And when you start your job, slowly and gradually, you become familiar with the person. You become familiar with the director, you become familiar with the manager, you become familiar with the chairperson or other people, isn't it? Right? So that's why. So if there is familiarity, okay, then after dear you can write the first name. If there is no familiarity, okay, then you can write dear, then you can write Mr. or Mrs., and then you can write the last name. Is it clear? This is the way we do. So that's why here you can see in follow-up letter, dear Miss Odell, isn't it? And in the previous one also, here you have dear Miss Odell. Is it clear? Because so you are fresh. There is you have no familiarity with the person. But when you start your job there, when you start working slowly and gradually, you become familiar with the person. So if there is familiarity, okay, then you can use in later after dear the first name. Did you understand? ठीक छ हाँ कुरो बुझ्यो कि बुझेन? Did you
Okay,
understand?
sir. Kuro bujhiyo, sir. Clear, we are clear, sir.
Okay, so dear Donald. Now in resignation letter, so you are resigning from the job, so you have to give the reason. Reason is required why you are leaving the job. Okay, you have to mention the reason. So see how it is written. Please accept this letter of resignation effective 2 months from now. Okay, January 30, 20 will officially be my last day as interpreter for the hearing impaired for Chartered Disability Service. Okay. My wife has accepted an administrative position at Dare Regional Hospital in Hopewell, Virginia. Right? After much discussion, we believe it is in our best interest to move to her job location. होइन? अब श्रीमान श्रीमती एकै ठाउँमा हुनु पर्यो कि परेन? हस्बैंड वाइफ पर्यो अब वाइफ को गइहाल्यो उता. Okay, so wife has been appointed in some other places and he is in some other places. Okay, so that's why he wants to be posted there, or he wants to that is go to the location where his wife has the job. So that's why that is he is resigning from the job. So here now this is the reason given. In the first paragraph, you give the reason why you are resigning. Now, in the second paragraph, I have enjoyed the 9 years working at lead interpreter. Now, give the positive feedback. You have worked for, that is for a long time. You have worked for a long time. So, give the positive feedback. Okay, don't give negative feedback. So, I have enjoyed the 9 years working as lead interpreter. Your guidance in particular has enabled me to learn new skills and grow professionally. I am proud to have been a part of the charter team and to have contributed to its fine work as an advocate for disability services. Okay, so here your positive response towards the company, towards the employer. Okay, your positive feedback. Don't give negative feedback. होइन तपाईँले यो गर्नुभयो, that you harassed me and you didn't pay me well. Don't write these things. Give positive feedback. Okay. Now again, before I leave, I will complete the annual education evaluation of my clients. Furthermore, I will be happy to spend my last week training my replacement. Okay, some other person is being replaced, okay, on that post. So this person, so that is this very man, will give some training to that new person. Okay, this is also this is what he is going to do. After I leave, I'll be available by phone to answer any questions. See, okay, so phone number is also being given. So I'll be available by phone to answer any questions. Again, and at the end also, again, thanks. Again, thank you for the opportunity to work for Chartered Disability Service. My wife and I will miss you and the staff, but we look forward to new opportunities in Virginia. Okay, so short and sweet. Short and sweet. ठीक छ? Sweet लागे कि लागेन? Huh? It's so sweet, right? So reason given why the person is resigning from the job, due to the different job location of his wife, because his wife has a different job location. So due to that, the person is resigning from the job. So reason is given in the first paragraph. Okay, and then in the second and third paragraph, that is your positive feedback. Okay, so positive feedback in the second paragraph, and in the third paragraph, if some work is left to do, that also you are going to complete. Okay, so that you can mention, and then again in the last paragraph you can give thanks like this. That is in a very effective way it has been written, and you will follow the same. Okay, so here again one gap, then sincerely, below sincerely leave 2-line gap, then that is 2-line gap for signature, then you write your name, and then you can leave 3-line gap and then close the box. 3-line, 4-line gap you can leave and close the box. 2-line gap will also be correct, no problem. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
ल अब सुन एउटा कुरो छ आज फेरि है, अब भोलिको क्लास तिमीहरूको I won't be able to take your class tomorrow, so I will inform the Pratik sir. Okay, so I'm going to try today. So and tomorrow I will come back. Okay, so I will be able to take your class tomorrow. भोलि चाहिँ के त सक्दिनँ, म चाहिँ त इन्फर्म गर्छु डिपार्टमेन्टमा, and the department will manage some other teacher for tomorrow. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
म यो तीनवटा क्वेसन तिमीहरूलाई राखिदिन्छु है. So one question for cover letter, one question for follow-up letter, one question for that is letter of resignation. I'll post these 3 questions and you will complete by following the same sample. So these samples are very, very effective. You will read each sample 2 times, at least 2 times, 3 times you read, and then you will write the letter. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything to ask?